Hey guys, Fox here with a new deck profile for you guys on Viamance Bruce, a set 9 deck profile. I know it's been a while since I had a video on the channel. I figured I'd update the deck for you guys. First deck profile of the set. Missing 2 cards, missing 1 Bruce and 1 of the crit. I had like 12 of the crit at one point. Must have, when my friends were building Dark States decks, have given it to them. But we'll go ahead and get right into the deck profile. For the starter, we're still running Matt, same skill as all the other starters in the series. And then we're running Viamance Bruce, the new Bruce of the set. His skill, for those of you who don't know, is auto at the beginning of the battle phase. If all of your units have Diabolos in the card name until the end of your opponent's next turn, you final rush. And if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, you final burst. And then when this unit attacks, if you're in final burst, you counterblast 1, choose a column, stand all of your rear guards with Diabolos in their card names in that column, and they get 5k in 20 turns. Really nice, adds a lot of pressure, activates all your final rush abilities. And then you have the final burst ability, which is new. It's a really amazing card. You don't get penalized for going second anymore. The deck's not as slow as it used to be. It's just really strong. A lot of people thought it might not be as strong with the first wave of support, but I think it's just as strong as the grade 3 Bruce build, if not stronger, pressure wise. Then still running Richard as the grade 2. For those of you who don't know, when it's placed on Van, you put a rear guard in your soul and draw a card, and then if you're in final rush, he gets 5k if he's on rear guard. And then Steve, for the grade 1 of the ride deck, when he's placed on Vanguard, choose a card from your soul, call it to rear guard circle, and soul charge 1. And then if you're in final rush, it gets 5k. That other ability is relevant. Do call him from soul a lot because he is a good booster, because he does hit 13k. Then moving on to the grade 3s, like I said, we'll be picking up the last Bruce tomorrow. Just wanted to, instead of picking up online, figured I'd pick it up from a friend. So we'll be running the 3 Bruce, obviously, to max out on the Persona rod. And then the other grade 3 we're running is still for Julian, has Diabolos in the name. Amazing ability, for those you don't know. Once per turn on rear guard, when he attacks a van, you counterblast 1, he gets 2k for each card in your damage zone. And then if you have a Vanguard with Bruce in its name, you soul charge 1 for every 2 cards in your damage zone. Choose up to the same number of cards soul charged by this effect from your soul and call them to an open rear. So really good. And then another new card from set 9. One of the only other new cards I'm running, or the only other new card I'm running from set 9, is Diabolos Knuckler Jamil. He has a continuous ability on Vanguard or rear guard and Guardian. If you're in final burst, he gets 10k and 5k shield. And then auto, when it's placed on rear, if your Vanguard is Diabolos Viamance Bruce, you counterblast 1, soul charge 1, choose 1 grade 3 or less normal unit with Diabolos in its card name from your soul and call it to rear guard circle. So it's really nice to help you refill your field. So you'll be on final burst on your first grade 3 turn. So really nice, really helps you fill out the field early. And then probably the best grade 2 in the deck, for Diabolos Boys Eden. Really glad I'm able to play this card again. It's always been one of my favorite grade 2s in Bruce since it came out in the original set. If you're in final rush, which you will be on the first grade 3 turn, like I said before, with Bruce's skill. If you're in final rush, this unit gets 5k. And if you stood it this turn by a card effect, it gets +1 critical. So you're going to stand it by Bruce's effect. So on that second attack, it's going to be swinging for 20k because of Bruce's skill and its own skill with an additional critical. And then when its attack hits, it does not have to hit a Vanguard. You counterblast 1, choose one of your opponent's rear guards and retire it. So really good on hit pressure. And then rounding out the grade 2s, for some more retire pressure and some more rear guard calling, we are running 3 Diabolos Returner Derek. This is kind of like a flex spot. You could run Megan here for some more pressure, but I prefer Derek for some more consistency. If you're in Final Rush, he gets 5k on rear, and then on rear once per turn, you counterblast 1 and put a rear guard in your soul. Choose one of your opponent's rear guards for every 4 cards in your soul and retire them. Then if you're in Final Rush, look at the same number of cards from the top of your deck as the number of your opponent's open rear guards. Choose any number of units from among them, call them to rear guard, and put the rest in your soul. So really good. Then moving on to grade 1s, running 4 of the perfect cards that if you have 2 or less cards in hand, you do not need to discard. And then an old card, an old Diabolos card from set 4 that is just amazing in the deck. Adds a lot of what you need as far as power goes. Diabolos Girl Stephanie. If you are in Final Rush, all of your units in the same column as this unit get 5k until end of turn. So it was too slow with the other Bruce, but with this Bruce, it's perfect. Just adds 10k to the whole column. Until we get, better support in the deck, this card is amazing. Does everything you want to do, just pumps up your whole column. When you restand it with Bruce, adds another 10k, so your whole column's pumped up by 20. Just like I said, does everything you really want and need in the deck. And then your other really strong grade 1 that we're running is Mabel. When this unit boosts Vanguard, if you are in Final Rush, you counterblast 1 and choose one of your Vanguards, and it gets triple drive until end of turn. So it helps you get that hand consistency, helps you see the cards you need to see. And then rounding out the grade 1s, would take one of these out for the second or the last Bruce. Excuse me, but still would run 1. It's kind of a flex spot. Not really sure what I would run, but felt like testing it out, and it hasn't really, it's been really good for me so far. Just the extra shield has come up a lot of times. When he's placed on Guardian Circle, if an attack hit your Vanguard with Bruce and its card name this turn, he gets shield plus 15k. So really good. You could run the Blitz order, but I prefer this because he's a booster as well. If you ever need to call him, he will be a 13k booster when you restand him with Bruce. If you need to put him in the front row ahead of Stephanie, it'll be boosted as well, so it doesn't hit a very bad number at all. So really good in his own right. Card from the Festival Collection. I believe it was Festival Collection. Yep. Or not the Fighters Collection anymore. I believe it's Festival Collection, the second one. So really haven't been minding it at all. Has been coming in a lot of clutch because there are games that it does get ground out. Usually you do finish games pretty quickly, but there's games that do last a little bit longer. Those games that do get that hand consistency and that draw power, he does really come in handy. Moving on to the triggers, of course, running the 1 over trigger. Everybody pretty much knows what the Dark States over trigger does, but when you drive check it, gives your Vanguard plus 10,000 and a critical until the end of the game. Give 100 million to a unit, and then when you damage check it, give 100 million to a unit and draw a card. You draw a card when you drive check it as well. Then running 4 of the Diabolos heal, just in case you have to call it to rear guard circle to boost with in a dire situation. You would think you want to run 4 of the Diabolos draw. I prefer the extra shield on the draw. I have enough boosters in the deck, I feel like, so really don't feel like I need the Diabolos draw. Am missing, as I stated earlier, 1 Diabolos critical. We'll have that tomorrow, so I will be going in the deck. So we'll be running 4 of that. We'll replace 1 of the draw for that. And then I'm running 4 Steam DVA Dragon. Again, I'm not running you could run 4 of the Diabolos stand. I prefer the critical pressure because you really do want to finish games off quickly with this. You really don't want to drag them out because that's where you tend to lose games with this deck. It's an aggressive deck. That's the strategy you want to go for. You don't want to drag things out because that's when you tend to lose games with Viamance, in my opinion. But really liking the new strategy, the new cards that we got. Like I said, just running the 2 new ones, but we are getting a lot of great support with set 10, so can't wait for that. Look forward to some more deck profiles from set 9. If you want to see any matchups, let me know down below in the comments, and thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.